Hi, and welcome. Thanks for joining me today here, Clear Income Strategies Group. I'm going to be doing about 20 to 26-minute presentation on retirement readiness and taxes and the three steps towards protecting your income in the future. So, any questions, let me know. At the bottom of your screen, you should see a link where you can type in your questions. Feel free to type in as many as you like. And after the presentation, I will get them to as forward as quick as possible, excuse me, for you like that. Now, you're probably trying to figure out where I've got here. If you have known me for a while, or if this is the first time you've actually heard me, I'm an educator first and an advisor second. And people are like, well, I've had an interesting road on how to get here. And on your screen, you say, well, what does a golfer have to do and the state of Nevada have to do in anything? And well, that's the whole premise of what we do here is when I was back in Nevada, back in the days, I was actually a dealer in Reno and in Tahoe and Vegas. I'm not going to dwell on a long time, but long story short, what really got me interested in being an educator and a protector of people's funds is seeing the locals coming in. And like I said, a good friend of mine, Brandon Thomas, who was a local in Reno and in Lake Tahoe, I saw him come in, day out, week in, week out. Like a lot of people, gambling is a game of luck. And you only gamble what you can afford to lose. That's the same thing when it comes to retirement, only gambling what you afford to lose. Well, unfortunately, gambling in Vegas and Nevada, the chances of getting back your money are pretty slim. Those bright lights don't shine for anything. And the more I dealt it for a year time frame, seeing people lose and lose and lose and just getting depressed and angry and stuff, not be able to control that urge was something that I was like, I want to get into this industry of protection. And I saw so many people lose thousands and thousands of dollars on a game of chance. Well, life is a game of chance at the same time. And that's one of the theories of doing this, why I love it, because I saw the other side of it. And if you're wondering about the golf feature, I mean, I played on the mini tours and stuff and all that during the years. But if you look at that golfer, I mean, he's got a long shot over water. If you don't play golf, this is a risk reward situation. Is the risk worth the reward? Well, his risk of hitting the ball in the water and losing shots and having to start over again is kind of like the reward aspect of, well, if he goes around, he's securing himself a par. If you ever seen the movie Tin Cup, you know what I'm talking about. It took him 12 shots before he finally got it on the green and ended it. But what happened? He cost himself the tournament. So when you're looking at your financial portfolio throughout this presentation, start thinking of yourself as, am I doing this as a risk factor? Or am I doing this as a reward factor? I mean, you got to accept one side without the other. And I've seen that as a dealer of the risk reward, and more times the risk out hit the reward, and then they suffer going forward. So let's get into the presentation. I just want a little share a little information about where I'm coming from and that doing these educational webinars going forward. I said I've been doing this since 2004. Once again, I said I'm a educator first, an advisor second, and an income strategist is my main goal in helping people out. And I had the pleasure of publishing my first book about a year and a half ago called Cross the Bridge to Retirement. Quick read, 142 pages. You can just go zip right through it, taking you through the progression of getting to the bridge and getting over the bridge comfortably. If you'd like to have a copy, if you don't have one already, email us below. We'd be more than happy to send you either a PDF version or the actual hard copy as well. Once again, these are all the publications. I've been fortunate. Like last year alone, I was in Forbes 3 times last year. I've been in Money, Fortune, a lot of these other ones. Again, educating on the risk versus reward factor, the risk of the unknown in life. And every webinar I've done, this is, I think, my 17th webinar since this pandemic has started. Every one of them has been designed towards knowing is power. I mean, knowledge is power in this world, and that's what this is all about. Now, a good friend Janita has helped to share this webinar presented here for me today. And simple. Retirement readiness, the three steps towards protected income. Because how much money you have in retirement is wonderful, but if you're not using it properly, you run into one of those biggest risks we'll talk about in a little while of running out of money. So, what is retirement readiness? And a lot of people can look at this in a different way and saying, well, it's being ready for retirement. Well, not exactly. Exactly, yes, but not no. Learning the truth of what you have to do. You hear all these different advisors and all these different people saying, this is what you need to do to get ready for retirement. But I'm going to ask you the question is everybody, you put 12 people into a room, and I've done this before, and I've asked every person, what their views on retirement are, and you're going to get 12 different answers. And that's the beauty of learning about other people is everybody's situation is different. Everybody's house is different. Everybody's decorating their house different. People drive their car different. We're creatures of routine. And sometimes you need to break that routine in order to go forward, because I'm a firm believer the best way to make money is not to lose money, and the best way to go forward is never to go backward. But in simple words, retirement readiness is two simple things. It's, are you fundamentally ready to retire, and are you emotionally ready to retire? One of the articles I wrote for Forbes last year, and again, if you'd like to have a copy, it's either on our website or you can ask us for it, is the hardest day of your life is the day you retire. And people say, well, no, it's a great day. Well, yes, it is a great day, but now suddenly every day becomes Saturday, and you're living on your own money. You're not living on the workers' money, and you have to decide what you want to do there. Then emotionally, knowing that you have all this time on your hands, and I tend to ask you, some people that are retired watching this, and if you don't know somebody, you know somebody retired, ask them that same question, and they're like, well, what are you going to do today? It's like, well, I don't know how I have time to work. I'm so busy. And that's the beautiness about retirement, is that you get to do what you want on your own terms, but are you ready for it? Now, there's 3 steps going towards protected retirement we're going to cover during this presentation today. Step 1 is identifying the income for what you need for retirement and for what you want in retirement. Step number 2 is understanding retirement income sources and the characteristics of where this income sources are coming from, the pros and cons of each one of those. And step number 3 is we're going to give you a little stress test on your retirement income. It's not homework, it's just a little stress test we're going to compare with you before you go in there. So first thing is step 1, jump with it. I mean, everybody sees this picture of the beach. Some people love the beach, some people don't. Some people love the ocean, some people don't. But this is just a couple relaxing on what you need for retirement. And the first thing in retirement you need is understanding the income for what you need in retirement. This is what you have to protect. This is where survivorship in the retirement comes into play. Can I put food on the table? Can I put clothes on my back? But what about your medical needs and expenses in retirement? I mean, you need to put shelter on there. You need food, you need clothing, medical, transportation. These are the things you need to cover in retirement, utilities, all those different things. The day-to-day living stuff is the stuff you need to do before you get on to the things that you want your retirement to do. I mean, you want your retirement to be the income that goes forward in the fun part of retirement, whether it's travel, golfing, covering tuitions for the grandkids, traveling, all that other stuff. That's all the stuff that you dream in retirement, you want to do in retirement. But you got to take care of your needs before you take care of your wants. And a lot of people go for their wants before their needs, and then next thing you know, they're struggling, and that's not what you want to do going forward in retirement. And then coming forward again, what you want for retirement keeps on getting bigger and bigger, because you want to travel, you want that second home, you want to pay for people's educations, you want to continue your hobby, you want those memberships out there. And what happens is the ball is getting bigger and bigger as your portfolio goes and goes, because your needs is a small thing. Your needs is the day-to-day living, but more people focus so much on the wants. And I can't stress that for you. I challenge you to grab a piece of paper with you and a loved one or yourself, and write down 10 things that you need for retirement and 10 things that you want for retirement. And your wants are going to be, fill that side up, like boom, 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 boom. I want to do this, I want to cruise, I want to go to this, that, and the other. Well, quickly, where the needs, you're going to start thinking, well, it's like that grocery list. Am I forgetting the cucumbers? Am I forgetting the corn and the cob? And just think of it that way. And once you get them both settled down, it's a lot easier to budget. When it comes to budgeting for retirement, it's huge. Excuse me. The next step is understanding your retirement income sources and their characteristics. I mean, this is very important when you're going into retirement, is where's this income going to come for? And what are these things are all about? And identifying your income sources can include bonds, fixed index annuities, variable annuities, pensions, rental income, Social Security benefits, stocks. I mean, some common retirement income sources also include guaranteed income, asset liquidity, growth potential, volatility protection, tax efficiency, inflation protection, death benefits. I mean, these are a lot of things that you need to look at when you're coming to where your income sources are. And those are the common ones over there. You got the pensions, which pensions, annuities, and Social Security are the three guaranteed lifetime income sources. I mean, they're technically all an annuity with three different names. Pensions backed by the guaranteed fund by that. The Social Security is backed by the strength of the government to pay you back your money. And annuities are backed by the strength of the insurance company. Now, real estate can come, real estate can go. And you can lose money in real estate, you can make a fortune in real estate. But it can provide you a guaranteed lifetime income. There's your 401k. It'll provide you a guaranteed lifetime income if you're in a stock market and the market dips. Because if you go down 10% and up 10%, you're still down. You got to know that going forward. Now you got this pieces of the pie over here. You got to figure out where all this stuff is going to come into. Where's your where's your income going to come from, and how much is it going to cover for your lifestyle? Now, if you look at income sources characteristics, again, you got bonds, annuities, pensions, rental income, and so forth. But here's a little chart, and we're more than happy to send this chart to you, or you can take a screenshot of it, whatever it is. But this is a breakdown of the 8 most common income sources that people use, and the 7 things that you're looking for when you get into retirement. They look like guaranteed income, how much asset you have, how much growth potential, is it volatile, protected, tax efficient, how's it going to do with inflation, and death benefit. And you're looking at likely guaranteed income, unlikely. I mean, you're looking at the specifics. A pension, we're going to talk about first. Pension is going to give you that guaranteed income. No really liquidity, no growth. It has a volatile protection. It's not tax efficient, and it doesn't help you against inflation or death benefit unless you choose a different option for a lower payout. Now let's break that down to all the other different ones and look at the check marks and all those through there. I mean, we're going to cover Social Security, gives you guaranteed income, volatile protection, inflation protection at times, and a death benefit if you're married. Rental income, the only check you get there, you're getting the volatile protection, inflation, death benefit, tax efficiency. I mean, every one of them has their own characteristics. Fixed index annuity, again, it has the same guaranteed income, has growth potential, volatile potential. I mean, each one of those is designed for each individual. And this is such an important chart when you're looking at this of where is your risk versus where is your reward when it comes down to it. How much risk do you want? How much growth potential do you want? What do you want your money to do? I mean, I break it down into 4 categories when I'm meeting with clients and we're educating is money is designed for either liquidity, do you need it for growth, do you need it for income, or do you need it for legacy planning? Those are the 4 things you do. It's not a one size fits all. And if you see those income, liquidity, and growth potential and tax benefit, death benefit, you don't see a check mark next to all 4 of those. It just doesn't happen. I mean, you can get 3 of the 4, 2 of the 4. So you got to find, it's a thing called diversification, diversifying your portfolio to what works right for you. And that's what the thing is everybody's shoe fits differently. Everybody's house looks differently. Again, it's what's best for you. Now, when you're looking at step 3, and this is a stress test for your retirement, you got to look at your retirement income and figure out where it's going to go. When you look at the 5 biggest risks when it comes to retirement, depending on how your portfolio is, and you got market risk. We all know the market can go down. You got tax risk. Well, right now with the new administration, it looks like taxes are going to go up. So how are you going to handle that? Inflation risk, that's a big killer. I mean, we don't know when inflation is going to happen. How much is a dollar going to be worth in 10 years from now? So you got to cover yourself in that same aspect of it. The biggest risk of them all is called longevity. Longevity, because it's the one answer that nobody knows, is how long are you going to live? And then, of course, you got survivorship risk. I mean, if you're a married couple and someone passes away, are you ready for it? I mean, a swift market correction endures the year. Experts predict every 4 years. It takes a 4-year recovery time frame that you're not likely to break even before that time has elapsed. I mean, generally, it's a 4-year time frame before recovery comes out. Will you be able to afford to retire on time and stay retired with the lifestyle you anticipated if you do have that market crash? Now, if income taxes soar, the U.S. debt has reached record levels, and the probability of tax increases over the next few decades is highly probable. And we've seen that firsthand in the last week or two. Taxes could increase and eat away your retirement income. Are you prepared for that aspect of it? Going into inflation, if you're living on a fixed budget and the cost of your expenses go up, let's just say 3%, what are you going to have to forego that you want to do in retirement? Again, needs versus wants, like a vacation, a country club membership, ability to handle your grandchildren's tuition, to maintaining your budget. It's a silent killer. Healthcare is one of the biggest costs out there. And if you get sick to the point of not being able to carry out your daily living expenses, and result, you require long-term care for 10 years or more, will your spouse be able to maintain their lifestyle to your added long-term care expenses? I mean, you look through America, I mean, medical expenses have destroyed a lot of people's retirement program because they're not prepared for the inevitable. They're not prepared for the unknown. Excuse me, inevitable was the right word. That's kind of dreary. I apologize. But for the unknown, and the unknown is medical. You don't know if you're going to get sick or be in a nursing home or facility. And then, God forbid, what if you die? What if you die tomorrow? I don't like to talk about death like that, but what if it does? Will your spouse or other dependents be able to live in the same house? Will they be able to drive the same car and enjoy the same hobbies for the rest of their retirement? These are all things that you have to get ready for when your retirement happens. And these are risks that you overcome. When we're doing plans together and doing the educational part of, the more risks you can knock off, boom. For instance, if you have guaranteed lifetime income through, let's say, a pension, Social Security, and annuity, they're coming from different sources, or you just have a Social Security and annuity, you can knock off the market risk. It's eliminated because no matter what the market does, you have income coming in for the rest of your life. Tax increases and inflation, if you have increasing income, you have a reserve of your money, boom, those are knocked off. Income for longevity, if you have income guaranteed for you and your spouse, you've just knocked off longevity risk. You've just knocked off survivorship risk. So having guaranteed income that you can never outlive can knock off almost all these risks immediately. And I said, I have a really nice client up in the mountains, and him and his wife, I'm not going to share their name for obviously privacy purposes, but like, Dolph, we need to get to $75,000 a year to live on. And that will be our goal for the rest of our life. And then we have our reserves for inflation and taxes. What do we need to do to get guaranteed income? Well, they had Social Security between the two of them. It's going to be right around $36,000. Boom, check. So we're halfway there. So where's the other $35,000 going to come from? So we worked through a plan to get him the income. Now they have the income. They retired 2 years ago. Now their income has increased. So now they're over $85,000. They've gone up almost $9,000 of guaranteed income. And they never have to worry about money again because they know they're going to have that check, and all their needs are taken care of. And they're getting, trust me, they're getting to enjoy their wants a lot more, a little bit less through the pandemic and so forth because you can't travel as much, but it's still there. It's very comforting knowing. Now I got this little 2.5, 3-minute video. It's called the equivalent portfolio value. Something I want you to pay a little bit of attention to. It's a fun little cartoon character video, but it's going to be in short. It's very important. It's going to show you the difference between value A and value B. Enjoy the video. I'll be back in a minute.
The process of saving for retirement is commonly understood. Save a certain amount each year, invest it, and give your nest egg time to grow. But once you are ready to retire and start living on that income, things can quickly become more confusing. If you spend any time on the internet, you will quickly discover that there are many approaches to generating retirement income. To help you evaluate those approaches, a concept called equivalent portfolio value, or EPV, can be helpful. Simply put, EPV evaluates how much income one approach can generate versus another, and what it will take for two different approaches to generate the same level of income. To help see this, consider siblings Bill and Jill. Both spent their working years saving for retirement. They were planning to retire in 5 years, and each of them had identified a portion of their savings, $550,000, from which to generate retirement income. After doing some math, both Bill and Jill determined that they would need $40,000 a year from this portion of their savings to meet their retirement income needs. Bill decides to use a drawdown approach while maintaining an asset allocation strategy, withdrawing 4% annually. Based on his $550,000 today, 4% would only generate $22,000, just over half of what he needs. In order to generate the $40,000 from his investment plan, his $550,000 will need to grow to $1 million in 5 years, or 82%. Alternatively, Jill decides to utilize a fixed index annuity to generate the $40,000. The fixed index annuity guarantees that if Jill places $550,000 in it today, in 5 years, the insurance company would begin paying her the $40,000 she needs each year for as long as she lives. To put it another way, Jill's $550,000 fixed index annuity has an EPV of $1 million. By using a fixed index annuity, Jill has peace of mind that she will receive the income she needs in retirement. On the other hand, in order for Bill to generate the level of income he needs, his drawdown approach would require his portfolio to earn an annual rate of return of 12.72% before fees and taxes each and every year for the next 5 years. Only then will Bill have the $1 million he needs for retirement. Using EPV can be useful to compare retirement income approaches. But how is it that Jill's $550,000 can do the work of $1 million? It is because Jill is tapping into one of the unique strengths of insurance companies. Insurance companies can pool risk across tens of thousands of people. With insurance companies, we can do more together than we can alone. Bill, on the other hand, must face the risks of retirement all by himself. If there is a financial mishap, he only has himself to manage the impact of that setback. So ask your financial professional if a fixed index annuity might be right for you.
And I wanted to share that video with you because I think it's sometimes it's people are always talking about how much money you have versus how much money you need. And a lot of people, like I said, having to chase a 12.72% gain every year in the market, it's like, it's nice to go, but it's like knowing your income, that what your income value is going to do this down the road. Now, not everybody has $550,000. Not everybody wants to retire in 5 or 6 years. When I ran this one here, this is a realistic summary of this. Ran this the other day for someone, is that they had a $300,000 we were going to work with, and their goal in retirement was to get $35,700 a year in 10 years. They wanted to retire at 70. They wanted to work through there, and they had this portfolio. We said, well, what are they going to need for this portion of their portfolio to hit $35,700 guaranteed with no risk? So we put $300,000 in there. When they begin income, the value is at $700,000. The payout's 5.1%, compared to a withdrawal rate of 4%, which we were talking about with Bill. And you look at the red down here in the bottom, assuming a 0% growth, they got $35,700 guaranteed joint income for the husband and wife for the rest of their life. Boom. Just taking that $300,000 of that portfolio at 60. Now, if somebody wanted to have that and they were going to retire in 10 years, they started with that $300,000. They needed that money to grow to $892,500 in that same 10-year time frame. They would need that market to grow up 198%. That's just to take out 4%, not even the whole 5%. That's 4%, which is 35,700. So they would need an average 11.52% gain per year in the next 10 years average to get that 35,000. Now I'm going to ask you this question deep from your heart and think about it. Do you think, yes, we've had a great run these last 10 years, but still, did that do 11.52% average in these last 10 years? No. Pretty close, but it didn't. Now, do you think we're going to have another 10-year cycle like this for your retirement? So this is taking the risk versus the reward out of it. The risk factor of, hey, let's use a 4% portfolio and throw it in the market and hope it goes up 198% to get to our goal. That's great, but the reward isn't going to be there. Where, like I said, with a fixed index annuity, they put the $300,000 in it. They don't have to worry about it for 10 years, and they know when they hit 70 years old, they have their number of $35,700. Very important to know. We can run this under any different scenario. It could be $50,000 starting, $500,000, whatever number you like to have. We run this under there to hit your target number. Again, as I mentioned earlier with my friend couples up in the mountains, this is how we hit their number, knowing what it's going to have. Now, you don't have to wait 10 years. You can wait 5 years. It's going to show you the exact same thing in the exact same formula. Now what a big part of that is the difference of tax deferral. Now, if you look at currently taxed, I ran this last week and everybody loved this chart, so I'm doing it again. The advantages of tax deferral: you have $100,000 and a 5% return that's currently taxed. I mean, their net yield after 1 year is 3.4%. Yeah, they still made $5,000 a piece, but if they're in a 32% tax bracket, which is going to be common coming here shortly, one side of the coin paid 1,600 in taxes, the other one's letting that money grow and grow and grow. That's the power of tax deferral. And if you don't have a pension that you're growing tax deferred, or you don't have an IRA or a 401k tax deferred, there are ways that we can create a self-described pension for you using the right strategies and characteristics in your portfolio with money that you've already paid taxes on, non-qualified money, money that I call it lazy money, money just sitting in the bank earning no interest, that you can turn into a pension. The only difference is you have control of that pension. The pension is going to earn you money, and you don't have to pay taxes on it every year. You don't pay taxes until you pull that money out. Very important to understand that. So our objective to help is we want to increase the probability of your success in retirement. And the more happy you are in retirement, the more everybody's going to be happy about it. And if the probabilities go up, it means the negativity is going down. You want to work to remove any unnecessary risks. I mean, basically look at your portfolio and say, well, what do I want to have at risk? What do I don't want to have at risk? I like to work with the money that you don't want to lose, that you want to have guaranteed. And you want to support your income needs and your wants in retirement. I mean, that's what that ever famous thing is, what the bucket list is. Everybody has a bucket list. Bucket list is all in the wants in retirement. If you take care of all your needs first, you can get to that bucket list and you succeed on that bucket list there. So what are your next steps? Well, these are 6 questions that you need the answers to. And we'll leave this up there for a second or two, go over them, that you need to ask yourself right now and going forward. Can I continue my present standard of living into and through my retirement years where I'm at right now? When can I retire without the fear of running out of money? Big one, number one thing, except for public speaking and spiders, running out of money is one of the biggest fears out there in the world today. So more people are afraid of spiders and public speaking than they are running out of money and dying. I don't know. That's just according to the tabloids. I mean, how could my situation change during this turbulent economic times that we're in? Yes, we are in turbulent, crazy times, a lot of volatility out there. How's your situation going to change and how are you ready for it? How would it affect my family if I was to die prematurely? The ones you love, the ones you support day in, day out, how is it going to affect them? Are they ready for it? Or what are they going to have to do? That's where like term insurance and long-term care and whole life insurance comes into play. How would it affect my family if I had to go into a nursing home or long-term care facility? Are you ready for that? I mean, yeah, you got to be taking care of yourself, but at the same time, you want to take care of your loved ones. And what are the possible solutions if my situation changes? I lose my job, or my 401k tanks, or my strategy doesn't fall through. What is your plan B? These are 6 questions we like to attack, and you need to attack each one of these very importantly and realize yourself. Any one of these 6 can happen to you, and it doesn't have to just be one. It could be all 6, or it could just be one, and how your situation is going to change. Like I said, I like to make my schedule available all the time. I said I'm always available when I can be available. And the easiest way to get a hold of me is by phone, or you can email below. I've gotten already 11 questions today, and I appreciate that. It's nice seeing those questions popping in throughout the presentation. And some of those questions are really, Ted, that one is, I look forward to answering that question with you, by the way, for you. But you can do that, Ted. You just schedule, go to calendly.com/JolfJanis, and my schedule is going to appear for you. You can schedule anywhere from a 15-minute consultation all the way up to a 2-hour consultation. We can do it on Zoom. We can do it in person. We can do it over the phone, whatever you feel most comfortable with. A good friend, a good client of mine gave us this phrase, and the Clear Income Strategy word of the year is achieve. And that's the strategy we're going with. And the key to success is to do what we don't necessarily want to do in the present in order to achieve the results that we want to achieve in the future. This is what winners do. I mean, you read that 3 or 4 times, it's a tongue twister, but sometimes the way to get where you want to is you got to do things you want to. You got to think outside the box is basically what Michael's saying. And thinking outside the box can result positive returns down the road. Just because one person says things are no good doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, I drive a Lincoln. People are saying, oh, Lincolns break down, Ford fix and repair daily. Oh, you don't want to drive one. I've had this thing for a long time, and it's one of the best cars I've ever had. it's right for me. It doesn't mean it's gonna be right for you, but it's right for me. It's like stocks are right for some people, annuities are right for some people. It's not a one size fits all. You got to feel what you want to do, but sometimes you have to think outside the box before you make a change. What we are at Clear Income Strategies Group, we're independent agents. We work with over 30 different companies out there with over 125 different strategies. Like again, 125 plus and growing every week. I mean, I've added a couple on this week too. We believe knowledge is power. Education is first. Advisors were second. We believe in planning versus guessing. Going against the unknown is also an absolute bombshell. A couple things I'm offering you with this today. We have this complimentary tax prep report. It's you can do this on Zoom. We can do this in person. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's going to print out where your federal tax bracket falls in today, how much more money you can take out tomorrow, next year, and going forward. And we can run this report based on inflation, based on everything, all the way up for the next 15 to 20 years, and show you what your federal taxes are going to be and where that loophole is. I mean, you might be taking out $40,000 a year when you could actually take out $50,000 a year and not hurt yourself in taxes. All about saving in taxes is so important. Also, we'd like to be able to send you a 5 steps to retirement, where do I stand plan. This stuff here is complimentary. It's just very simple. It shows you where you are today, going steps forward to tomorrow to make sure you do have enough income and there is no shortfalls in there. You can call us or text at 704-307-0202. It's always available 24 hours a day. Again, we're complimentary services. You can go to our page, guardyoursavings.com. These are complimentary resources that we offer to you. This is just some of them. Believe it or not, we do have more than these 20 sources that we'd be more than happy to share with you. And like people say, well, Dolph, why are you giving away the house all the time? Again, education. The more you learn, the easier life becomes. And it easier become on us. And guess what? Become part of the family and learn all this stuff up. It never hurts more to take a few minutes out of every day and learn something. When we were children, I'm watching my 6-year-old daughter grow up, and she's learning something every day, and it's baby steps, learning this word today and then that math problem tomorrow, and it's just wonderful. Well, again, from the bottom of my heart, I do appreciate you coming in here. If there's any questions, again, you can go on the bottom. We have a list of webinars on our website, clearincomeforlife.com. Up there, we have them also on our YouTube channel. I encourage you to follow us on Facebook, as we're always posting. I know Facebook's got a bad rap right now, but we're just posting educational services. We also do that on our webpage as well. We have our mailing list, and we send out a monthly newsletter to everybody with all the different topics. February 23rd, I have another webinar coming in. It's called Smart Retirement Taxes. The whole presentation is about taxes. I mean, because we're coming into a new tax format. It's about a 40-minute presentation, fully packed with information. We're going to be having reminders go out for you, but again, you can email or sign up for us there. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for all these wonderful questions. I look forward to talking to all you guys soon. Take care and God bless. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, and last but not least, I said, I am not a lawyer. I am not a CPA. I'm an educator, and that's why I have to put the disclosures up. Okay. Have a wonderful day.